Hello students, welcome back again to my English channel, The Unforced English 721. If you are new here, you have to subscribe my channel after watching this video. If you like, then subscribe my channel and hit the like button because it will inspire me. So we have to start the today's poem, that is Daffodil. So the poem is written by William Wordsworth. Without wasting time, let's start the poem and understand the explanation. So the poem written by William Wordsworth. Being an ardent nature lover, Wordsworth has employed nature in most of his literary writing. Nature has been his source of wisdom and guidance in almost of his poetic creations. He has found a deep attachment and bonding between man, nature and God. Daffodil is one of his famous poems, and the poem was composed in the year 1802. The title of the poem informs about the loneliness of the poet, which he faces after the death of his brother. However, the endless view of the golden daffodils in a field across the lake filled him with joy. This view was the greatest gift of the nature to him. The poem was inspired by an event on 1802. Wordsworth actually came across a long belt of daffodils close to waterside in the woods, and he was accompanied by his sister Dorothy. Then this memory served as his inspiration behind the poem Daffodil. Okay, so the poem reflects the poet's profound love for nature. He sees a host of golden daffodils dancing merrily in the breeze. Such a simple sight captivates the poet, and he continues staring at them for a long time and appreciating their beauty and liveliness. The sight has brought an immense wealth to him. He feels gay and cheerful among the colorful flowers. Even when he is away from the presence of nature, he is reminded of the daffodils. Whenever he lies in a vacant or melancholic mood, they appear upon his eyes of imagination, and he instantly forgets the bustle of life, and his heart begins to dance with the daffodils. Such is his deep love for them, for the daffodils. Now we have to know the meaning of the poem. I will explain stanza by stanza. Before that, we have to know the meaning. Here some tough words I am telling. You have to take the pencil and mark and write the meaning in the book. Wandered means moved about in an aimless way. Lonely means isolated or alone. Floats means floating, means hovers. Fluttering means unsteadily moving, quick and light movement, you can tell. Continuous means endless. Twinkle means shine or sparkle with a gleam. Milky Way, you know the meaning, the galaxy that contains our solar system, a band of light seen in the night sky formed innumerable stars. Okay, and stretched means spread, margin means bank, Bay means a broad inlet of the sea where the land curves inwards. Tossing means moving or waving. Sprightly means lively or energetic. Outdid means surpassed. Sparkling means shining brightly. Glee means delight. Jocund means cheerful. Gazed means looked fixedly, especially in admiration. Oft means often. Vacant means idle. Pensive means thoughtful and reflective or lost in deep thoughts. That is pensive means. Flash means a sudden manifestation of something. Flash. Inward eye means imagination. Bliss means happiness or delight. Solitude means the state of being alone. Dances with the daffodils means when the poet revives the memory of the daffodils dancing along the bay, he derives immense pleasure and his heart gets filled with joy. So, come to the poem line. I wandered lonely as a cloud. Wandered mean I told you that roaming aimlessly, that float on high over vales and hills. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. In this stanza, Wordsworth is telling that when you wandered lonely as a cloud, he is comparing with cloud. He is comparing him with cloud. And Wordsworth lived in a part of England known as the Lake District, which is filled with lots of hills, valleys, and lakes. We can ensure he was walking in a fairly remote and wild part of the countryside. Two pictures attract the attention of the reader in the first stanza. The first is that of the lonely cloud that are floating over the hills and the valleys. The poet compares himself to the cloud to prove that he was also spent the area alone. The second picture forms the basis of the poem. It is one of the daffodils. The poet saw that the daffodils were dancing in the mild breeze. The full-grown flowers were golden in color. The daffodils were personified and imagined to be doing human activities like swaying and dancing. There is also a hint that the daffodils are otherworldly. Okay? And the second stanza, continuous as the star that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. So here the poet compares the multitude of daffodils. Multitude means the large gathering of daffodils to the stars in the Milky Way. The stars in the Milky Way are seen in such a condensed form that we cannot distinguish one star from the other. The daffodils are similarly huddled together as not to be differentiated from each other. That is why the poet has used the word crowd earlier to mention the daffodils. Then the poet uses the number which signifies the concentration of the daffodils along the side of the particular lake the poet was walking beside. The daffodils have been imagined to be dancing, tossing their heads. They are very joyous, and their joy is manifested in their active dance. So the third stanza is like this: the waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. So, the stanza means what? The poet here explains the beneficial influence of nature on the mind of man. He takes his own case and says that whenever he is in a sad mood, he goes into seclusion. Seclusion means keep away from others. Means he keep away from others. He keeps him away from others. Then in his mind's eyes he recap the picture of the daffodils swaying themselves with the blow of the gentle wind. Immediately afterwards his heart is filled with joy and dances with the daffodils. In those moments, even when he is in a pensive mood, he is offered the bliss of solitude by the thoughts of the daffodils. So nature exerts her beneficial influence on the poet twice. First, when he actually viewed the daffodils, and then when he sees the daffodils in his imagination. Okay? So the last stanza here is written: I gazed and gazed. That is that. Oh my God, no. That last stanza is from there in the next page, 27 page. For oft when on my couch I lie in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. In the final stanza, the poet says that whenever he lies on his couch and is in low spirits, or when he is sorrowful, the sight of the daffodils flashes in his mind and becomes the source of joy in his solitude. The memory of daffodils takes away all his sorrows and boredom, thus making him happy, and it seems to him as if his heart is dancing with the daffodils. So that is the meaning of this stanza. That is the meaning of this stanza. So students, I hope you understand the line by line explanation of this poem. So here I think I forget to tell you the meaning, something that is I tell everything here, all the meaning I explain properly, but the main thing is that the poet here is telling he begins his poem by drawing drawing a comparison between him and the lonely clouds. He says that he was wandering like a lonely cloud, okay, floating over valleys and hills when he encountered a host of golden colored daffodils beside a lake and beneath the tree. A gentle breeze, a gentle breeze made the daffodils playful as they were found fluttering and dancing merrily in the gentle wind. This beautiful scene engaged the poet's attention wholly. And students, I think I forget to tell you the meaning of outdid. Outdid. Okay? The outdid word is there. It means that to be superior in action. The word outdid means to be superior in action. Okay? Then the poet says that the daffodils he encountered were as many as the stars shining brightly on the Milky Way. They seemed to form an endless line along the shore. According to him, he saw 10,000 pointing to the thousands of daffodils at a glance. And he personifying the daffodils, he recalls how they tossed their heads and rejoiced themselves in a lively dance. And though the waves of the lakes danced, the daffodils also outdid them in dancing. Okay? The waves were no match for their liveliness and energy. The waves could not compete with the delight of the flowers. The dancing was a welcome treat to the poet, and it provided him with delight. He could not help but be happy and cheerful in such a joyful company of the flowers. He could not stop staring at the daffodils with all his attentive gaze. He hardly realized that enormous treasure he was accumulating in his mind. In other words, the show of daffodils had brought to him wealth beyond measure. So that is the meaning of the poem. I hope students you understand total meaning of the poem. You comprehend everything, and I will meet you in the next video again with another interesting and important video. Thank you and good night for today. Bye.